Beneath the bustling streets of Rome lies a hidden city, carved not for the living, but for the dead. Step into its tunnels, and you enter a world where silence breathes heavier than life itself, where walls bleed history and shadows whisper secrets older than empires. The catacombs stretch for miles, cut deep into the earth's volcanic stone. Their passages twist like veins beneath the city, branching into chambers stacked with bodies. Each alcove holds the remnants of men, women, and children sealed into eternity. These catacombs were born from necessity and fear. By the 2nd century, Christians were forbidden from Rome's sacred burial grounds, so they dug their own, descending into darkness, carving a hidden refuge where they could bury their martyrs in secret. Imagine kneeling at a funeral here. A single oil lamp trembles in the damp air, casting shadows that move like spirits. The smell of decay mingles with incense. Behind every whispered prayer lies terror that soldiers may find you before dawn. For Rome saw these gatherings not as mourning, but as rebellion. Soldiers patrolled the streets above, listening for rumors. When they discovered the tunnels, they stormed in with torches, smashing walls, ripping corpses from alcoves, desecrating the dead. Bodies of saints were dragged into daylight, chained and burned before jeering crowds, their ashes scattered, their bones broken, their memory meant to be erased. But each desecration only fueled defiance. The faithful returned, digging deeper, hiding more. Soon the catacombs became more than burial sites. They became underground sanctuaries where believers gathered to worship. In candlelight, they read sacred texts, their voices echoing eerily through stone. Every hymn sounded like a ghost rising from the walls. But not all who entered returned. Some Christians, caught in raids, were sealed alive within the walls. Mistaken for corpses or punished with burial, they suffocated in total darkness, their fingernails carved frantic marks still visible in the limestone. Others were entombed in chains, iron collars locked around their throats, shackles clinking as the mortar sealed. Rust fused to their bones over centuries. Their skeletons remain frozen in agony, grim relics of cruelty disguised as law. The tunnels were not clean. As bodies piled up, the air turned sour. Fluids seeped into the stone, mixing with groundwater. Rats thrived in the cracks, gnawing on linen-wrapped corpses. To walk the passages was to inhale death itself. And yet, families continued. Infants were swaddled in linen, mothers laid beside them, fathers pressed into niches. Whole generations vanished into the earth. The catacombs became cemeteries of lineage, where bloodlines ended in silence. To Roman officials, it was proof of stubborn defiance. To believers, it was sacred. Martyrs' relics, blood-soaked cloths, broken chains, shattered bones, were guarded like treasure. Pilgrims later kissed skulls, believing holiness lingered in hollow sockets. The empire fought to break faith with fire and sword, yet the catacombs multiplied, spreading like roots beneath the soil. What Rome sought to crush became uncontainable. Each burial, each prayer in darkness, mocked imperial power. When Christianity finally rose triumphant, the empire could not deny the dead. The catacombs transformed into shrines. Bishops led processions into the underworld. Pilgrims wept over relics. And what had been terror became theater of devotion. But the darkness was never cleansed. Even today, footsteps echo strangely. Tourists clutch cameras but walk quickly, unnerved by the walls of skulls. They smile nervously, but the air feels heavy, as though the dead are still watching. Some claim whispers linger. The scratching of fingernails, the rattle of chains, the faint sobs of mothers buried with their infants. Whether echo or imagination, the tunnels breathe, reminding visitors that silence has its own voice. Ask yourself, could you kneel here knowing the soldiers might burst through the walls? Could you feel comfort surrounded by rotting corpses, chains still clinking in the dark? Or would you run, haunted by whispers you cannot silence? The catacombs are not just graves. They are scars carved into Rome's flesh, proof of cruelty, defiance, and survival. A kingdom of shadows beneath an empire of power. And when you leave, silence clings to you like a ghost. So tell me, if you were led into these tunnels, would you pray? Would you run? Or would you listen to the whispers of the dead? If this tale chilled you, wait until the next. Rome's punishments reached far darker extremes. Imagine a man torn apart piece by piece, not buried, but displayed alive. That horror is the next story waiting for you.